Welcome back to the channel, my friends. Warhammer Man Studios. I'm Warhammer Man, and today we're taking a look at this week's Sunday Preview. This video is sponsored by CMO Games. More on that later. Sunday Preview. Nightmares, Pyres, and Gnomes. Another Sunday, another preview. This week we've got several long-awaited additions to several Warhammer games. Kill Team Nightmare drops alongside Warcry, Pyre, and Flood, as well as the Bloodbowl Gnomes team. Everything you see here today will go on pre-order next Saturday. So there is a little video to go along with it, but we'll take a look at the full article. So a lot of people were starting to get concerned with Kill Team Nightmare not being dropped yet, but we recently did an article essentially talking about the timing and the announcement of the Kill Team termination and how this was right around the corner. And then of course we saw that Warhammer Plus battle report, and now here we go. This is coming up for pre-order, and I gotta say I'm super excited for this set. Kill Team Nightmare. Nobody in the 41st millennia is a good guy, but few are this wicked. The latest box supplement for Kill Team sizes up two of the meanest groups of guys in the entire galaxy, the Night Lords versus the Mandrakes. In the blue corner are the Nemesis Claws of the Night Lord's Legion, an infinitely sadistic bunch of raiders, corsairs, and murderers who love nothing more than draping themselves in the flayed skins of anyone who gets in their way. In the glowing green corner are the Drukhari Mandrakes, an infinitely sadistic bunch of dimension-hopping shadow beings who love nothing more than draping themselves in the flayed skin of anyone who gets in their way. So yeah, really nice box set right here. We know it's going to come with the cards and everything for the actual kill teams themselves. We have the Chaos Legionaries and then a upgrade sprue to turn them into Night Lords with a ton of awesome bits. And then we also have the brand new Mandrakes kit. And then of course we got a nice little terrain piece as well. And this couples with the starter set terrain, the Beta Decima set that came in the original box. So really nice overall box set right here. We know it's going to be priced right around like that $130 price point. And this is going to be really popular because those Mandrake models are very, very old, the ones that have been in the range. So this is the first time they're ever offered in plastic. And then also the sprue that comes to like upgrade the actual Legionaries into the Night Lords is a really, really nice sprue with tons and tons of bits. And I fully expect people are going to be after multiples of those to convert like an entire Night Lords army. So really, really cool set right here. Definitely super exciting. So as you can imagine, their first meeting in a kill zone is going to be bloody. Kill Team Nightmare contains 20 new plastic miniatures in the form of 2 complete kill teams, a new plastic Generatorium hub terrain piece, a 96-page book containing full rules, background, and new scenarios, 2 decks of unit data cards, 2 decks of other user cards, and 2 token sheets, 1 of each for both teams. Alright, so here we see the Night Lords, and again, this is the actual Legionaries kit right here with just an upgrade sprue, but there's tons of amazing bits to create like specialists and then like awesome helmets and everything to actually turn them into Night Lords. So very, very cool setup right here. And then for the Mandrakes, we have a completely unique set right here, brand new models, and these are going to be very useful and very popular for 40k as well. So really, really cool set right here. And then the actual terrain is awesome. The cards, the book, everything, very, very cool. I am definitely going to be picking this up. Alright, and then right alongside, we've got Warcry, Pyre, and Flood. The battle for the Gnarlwood is no less nasty than the struggles occurring across Beta Decima, as we can see in the latest expansion box for Warcry. Alright, so here we have the Pyre and Flood box set. Again, just going right down like the Games Workshop cookie cutter. So it's going to be the Pyre and Flood book, the actual like cards, the ability cards for the warband, 1 single terrain piece, and then the 2 actual warbands themselves. And in this case, it's the Lumineth Night Lords versus Night Haunt. The Night Haunt are determined to set the Gnarlwood aflame as the Pyregeist are unleashed. Their malevolent spirits haunt dark places, bringing Nagash's enlightenment in the form of burning death. Fortunately, the Lumineth Fire Brigade is on the case, in the form of the Yudrillan Riverblades, sacred elementors who defend blessed waterways across the realms. Will the Riverblades quench the Pyregeist's thirst for vengeance, or they go down in flames? Warcry, Pyre, and Flood contains 2 complete warbands comprising 18 plastic miniatures alongside an idol of the old ones to add to your battlefields, a 64-page warband tome packed full of background and rules, and 62 cards split across fighter cards, ability cards, and a full deck of battle plan cards. Alright, so really cool here. So we've got 10 of the Riverblades, which are basically like some Lumineth fighters. The models are pretty cool, definitely some nice action poses, cool helmets, sort of remind me of Vega from Street Fighter. And then for the Night Haunt, we have 8 models here. So we've got like a nice little character model leader, some very cool like flame stuff going on here, and you know, basically like nice little diversity in new models. So very, very cool. Definitely excited to see this set. And then of course the terrain piece is really cool as well. So again, going to be really popular, super cool and everything like that, but obviously don't expect nearly as much demand as we do for like the new Kill Team set. But a cool addition nonetheless, and I will definitely be picking this up as well. Alright, and that's not it for Warcry. So we have the Wildercorps Hunters and Gorger Mawpack. 2 more warbands are venturing back into the Gnarlwood as the Wildercorps Hunters and Gorger Mawpack, previously available in the Hunter and Hunted box, get solo releases. Each of these sets includes a complete warband, 11 miniatures for the Wildercorps Hunters, and 5 for the Gorger Mawpacks, and all the fighter cards and ability cards you need to use them in your games of Warcry. You may also deploy both units in larger games of Warhammer Age of Sigmar via the free downloadable War Scrolls. So again, 2 really cool warbands right here, 4 doggos, 11 total models in the Wildercorps Hunters, and then the Gorger Mawpack, just absolutely beautiful new ogre models, and just really shows you what Games Workshop could do with the ogre range if they do, or when they do get a refresh, as these models are absolutely phenomenal. 5 of those bad boys, and these are super chunky, super detailed, and each one comes with like some various options for building as well. So if you do build more than 5 of these, you can have at least 10 models that don't look exactly the same. So very, very cool. And then moving right along for the Ravaged Lands, also from Warcry, give your warbands some new scenery to battle over the pair of Ravaged Lands sets, each themed around the Gnarlwood and a long-lost Seraphon artifact that lie within the Blighted region. The Ruined Realmshaper set includes 10 pieces of scenery, including gnarl oaks, rope bridges, and obstacles, and the eponymous Ruined Realmshaper engine itself. The Ruined Swamping Pool comprises a Starfire pylon and an idol of Marzipola, both with platforms built over them to take games into the 3rd dimension. So really cool, and this was basically just like one of the scatter terrain sprues, 2 of like the regular old gnarl oaks that came in like every Warcry set last edition, and then of course the Realmshaper engine, which was the unique piece from the last box set. So all this stuff previously came in the last box set from last season, as well as a bunch of other stuff, but now being offered individually, probably right around like that $120 price point, maybe $112. Cool nonetheless, but really the Realmshaper engine is like the only unique piece here, and everything else is extremely redundant from the previous sets. Alright, and then also we have like the Ruins of Marzipola, so I'm not really sure what the heck is going on here. So we saw Games Workshop initially package this up in the Scales of Talaxis set, which was a really nice box set, but didn't really sell all that well. It had a bunch of additional terrain, and then this stuff right here. And then we saw Games Workshop come out with the individual box sets for each of these pieces priced at $60. And then also the Elder Gnarl Oak, which was basically just the individual pieces from that Scales of Talaxis box set. And now we're seeing Games Workshop repackage 2 of those 3 pieces once again into another box set and sell them. So they've tried to sell this once in a big box set. It didn't sell all that well. Then they broke it down into individual box sets for each of the pieces of terrain, which were drastically overpriced at $60 a piece. And now they're putting these pieces all back into another set where we basically just have those 2 pieces and then some of like the other smaller like additions built into it. And then this one will come with like some tokens and cards and stuff like that and repackaged once again. So this is the 3rd iteration of this terrain in a very short period of time. It's very evident at this point in time that it is not selling well. The initial packaging in the Scales of Talaxis set was by far the best deal. There's still tons of those out there. I would highly recommend you pick that set up over the individual pieces or this Ravaged Land set. But it is very evident at this point in time that Games Workshop is not selling this terrain well. And honestly, I blame all of this on them just stretching this out far too long. People were super excited about the Talaxis ruins and everything in the first season, in the Heart of Gur stuff. And Games Workshop basically just repackaged the trees over and over and then introduced like a single new piece of terrain. And then now we're into the 2nd season. Everybody's got like massive terrain burnout. And now they're starting to introduce like the cool stuff that we were expecting all last season. And people are just done with it. So very poorly marketed on their part. They tried to get greedy and stretch it out over a whole season. And now people just aren't that interested in the 2nd season. I personally think this terrain is phenomenal. I have picked up multiple sets of all of it. I absolutely love it, but I totally get how other people could be burned out on this. I am far too obsessed with terrain and absolutely love it. Most people just don't have the space or the desire, which is unfortunate because this stuff is awesome. Now a quick message from today's sponsor. CMO Games has been selling Games Workshop products online for over 20 years. They carry the full line of Games Workshop products, including Warhammer 40,000, Age of Sigmar, Necromunda, Bloodbowl, paint tools, and more. Almost all Games Workshop products are priced at 15% off MSRP. CMO Games takes pre-orders for most Games Workshop products released at their earliest date possible. 12:01 a.m. on Saturday, they go live. Most of these pre-order products are also priced at 15% off MSRP. CMO Games offer free shipping in the US 48 with an order of $50 or more. Their customer service is top-notch and they ship most orders within 24 hours. Visit CMOGames.com using the affiliate link in the description and let them know that you heard about CMO Games from Warhammer Man. Now, back to the video. Alright, and then moving on from there into the Bloodbowl setting, we have the Glimdwarrow Groundhogs. So these are the new gnomes, and I gotta say, these models are absolutely phenomenal. We've never really seen Games Workshop doing gnomes, at least not in the recent history. So I'm loving these models. I think they would be great for like potential base models for D&D also, even if you're not into Blood Bowl, or potentially for like some cool conversions for Warhammer. Now is the moment you've been waiting for, as a game of fantasy football sees the fittest, most athletic, most professional team ever to play in the big leagues take to the field. That's right, the gnomes are here. So we've got some absolutely killer models in the gnomes. We've got a bunch of like unique animals to go along with them as well. The Glimdwarrow Groundhogs are a collection of mischievous gnomes, ready to bring their tricky guile and numerous woodland pals to the Blood Bowl pitch. This team includes 14 plastic miniatures, 8 linemen, 2 illusionists, 2 beastmasters with a choice of badger or goose companions, and 2 ball-thieving woodland foxes. They also get balls and various tokens themed around the gnome. So very, very cool. Definitely excited to see these hit in the field. Alright, and then we have Spike Journal issue 17. The rules for using your new gnomes team will dominate the leagues are in issue 17 Spike Journal, as well as the team list. The volume includes a spotlight in the Glimdwarrow Groundhogs, advice for coaching this, unusual team, new star players, Gnome Garden leagues, and Dungeon Bowl update. All the usual features round out this issue, which you'll be able to get in the paperback and ebook formats. So if you are after them, you're going to want to pick up the Spike Journal, either physical or e-format as well, so you can play them. And then a whole mess of accessories as well. The Gnome Team Dice, cards, and pitch set. Coach the Gnomes in style with a range of themed accessories. The Gnome Team Dice set features 7 blue and red pearlized Blood Bowl dice, and the Gnomes Team Card Pack features 44 cards covering your players, star players, new special play cards, and bank cards for keeping track of your player in the league. The Gnome Team Pitch and Dugout set includes a double-sided pitch depicting magical forests in the day and at night, complete with the rules for playing it, and a pair of dugouts. So very cool. This will be offered with like the pitch and dugout, and then the dice separately, and then the cards as well. Really, really cool to see. Definitely a unique spin and twist on Blood Bowl for those big collectors out there. It's possible that your gnomes might need some help on the pitch if they're to overcome some of the tougher teams out there, and that's where the Gnome Treeman and Rodney Roachbait come in. The Treeman will add some punch to your scrimmage line, while star player Rodney Roachbait uses his trusty fishing rod to hook the ball right out from under the noses of opponents. So these are going to come from forgeworld in resin. We've got like some different ways you can build these. Super cool Treeman right here. Again, just a great model. I love it. It's got a much different look to like your traditional Treeman you see from Games Workshop. Very, very cool. And we've seen multiple build options for this. And then we've got Rodney Roachbait. So he's got like the fishing rod and hooked on the ball right there. Super cool model. Again, these should be coming from forgeworld expert kits in resin. And then we've also got White Dwarf issue 499, featuring some Necron action. April's edition of White Dwarf magazine is packed with 144 pages of awesome Warhammer content. The highlights include no lore and fiction featuring the ancient menace of the Necrons, rules for using 6 Warhammer Underworlds warbands as Bladeborn fighters in Warcry, and new boarding action missions in the Warhammer 40,000 that reach into the 4th dimension and twist time as you play. It also includes all your favorite regular features and more besides. Alright, so some Underworlds warbands for Bladeborn fighters in Warcry. That's pretty cool. The first mention of boarding actions in a long, long time. At this point in time, I just assumed Games Workshop had abandoned it after their money grab. But cool little White Dwarf action right here. And then from Games Workshop Black Library, we have Deathworlder, an Astra Militarum novel. We have Shadow of the Eighth, Minka Leth's novel. And then we have Space Marine Successor Chapter Short Stories. A week of new short stories will tell tales of few of many successor chapters who defend the Imperium from its myriad of foes. From a Lamentis Eliminator stalking a lone tyrannid monster to a squad of howling griffins battling behind enemy lines. These stories will immerse you in the lore of 7 chapters. Each tale will be available individually as an ebook, one released each day across the week, and you can subscribe to get all 7 for the price of 6. And then finally, we have some officially licensed products in the Wicked Brick display cases. An amazing paint job deserves the best protection. The Wicked Brick display case is the best way to show off and defend your precious miniatures. These will come in 30 different sizes to accommodate everything from a single infantry model to a reasonably sized force, with optional backgrounds and plaques to give them even more pizzazz. Look out for more information about these later in the week. So very cool, some stuff officially licensed by Games Workshop to protect your minis as well. So very cool, definitely an exciting week. Lots of cool stuff here for skirmishers. I am definitely looking forward to the Pyre and Flood, and we'll be picking that up for sure, as I'm a huge fan of Warcry, and I do like this new piece of the Talaxis terrain ruins. But the big release obviously is Nightmare. Keep in mind all these items will be on the 2-week pre-order period, but I will definitely be picking up Kill Team Nightmare. May even be getting multiples of this set, as I do really like the actual terrain piece. It is massive. I don't think people had like fully grasped how large it was. And then also these new kill teams are absolutely amazing. The Night Lord's upgrade sprue is awesome. And finally Mandrakes in plastic after like decades of the old like metal and resin models. Super, super exciting. So let me know what you're most excited about, what you're going to be picking up. And as always, special thanks to CMO Games for sponsoring the video. Check out the link in the description to save 15% on Games Workshop products. That's it for today. Warhammer Man Studios, I'm Warhammer Man, and the wait for the nightmare is over. And I'm out of here.